Have you ever been betrayed by someone you trusted with your heart? Imagine discovering your partner has been cheating. Not once, not twice, but repeatedly. Now imagine making them pay in the most unforgettable way possible. This is the story of Maria and the walk of ultimate shame. Before we dive in, hit that like button if you've ever been betrayed or felt someone underestimated your intelligence. And subscribe for more jaw-dropping true stories of revenge, karma, and payback done right. This story takes place 16 years ago in a small town in South America. My friend, let's call her Maria, had been dating Oscar for over 2.5 years. On the surface he seemed perfect, charming, funny. But behind closed doors, he had a dark secret. He was unfaithful. And not just once. Maria heard the gossip the way small towns share secrets, quiet whispers that quickly became a roar. Oscar had been at a party, got a girl drunk, and slept with her. And from the rumors, it wasn't the first time. Heartbroken, angry, betrayed. Maria could feel her trust shattered into pieces. And that's when the idea of revenge took root. Visual cue. Maria looking down at her phone, hearing whispers in the background, tightening her jaw in resolve. She didn't want to yell at him, beg him, or cry. She wanted justice. She wanted him to feel humiliation the way she felt heartbreak. Maria called Oscar over for a special afternoon of fun. Naturally, he said yes, greedy and clueless. He couldn't resist temptation. What he didn't know was that this afternoon was a trap, a stage for the ultimate humiliation. When Oscar arrived, he stepped into the building, music drifting from Maria's apartment. He went into the lift, pressed the button for the 10th floor, and nervously checked his reflection in the mirror. When the door opened, Maria and her friend Vanessa were waiting, wearing silky negligées. Maria held a blindfold and told him to put it on. And here's where it begins, he complied. Naive, arrogant, thinking he was about to enjoy pleasure. Instead, he was walking straight into shame. Visual cue. Slow close-ups of the blindfold, Maria smirking, Vanessa quietly moving in the background. While Oscar fumbled, blindfolded and naive, Vanessa quietly slipped out, dressed, and slipped his clothes out the window into the car park below. Then, like a ghost in the night, she descended the stairs, ringing doorbells, creating an audience. Every neighbor alert. Every person aware. Maria guided Oscar through the apartment, disoriented him, led him to the door. She whispered in his ear, "You're an unfaithful asshole, and your clothes are in the car park." Then she stepped into the lift, leaving him standing naked in the doorway, panic flooding his body. Visual cue. Oscar stumbling, arms flailing, Maria's silhouette disappearing into the lift. Oscar ripped off the blindfold. The realization hit. He had to walk down 10 flights of stairs, buck naked, past neighbors who had already gathered to witness the spectacle. Each step pounding his shame deeper into his bones. Every chuckle, every gasp, every whisper echoing in his ears. The humiliation was exquisite. The power of betrayal reversed. Maria watched from the lift, holding it open, a calm smile on her face, knowing she had orchestrated something unforgettable. Imagine his skin crawling with goosebumps, the cold stairwell biting his bare flesh, every stair a reminder of his betrayal. Neighbors leaned over railings, whispering, pointing. The echo of laughter bouncing off the walls. Vanessa carefully descended ahead, alerting people as she went, maximizing exposure. Internal monologue. What am I even doing, he must have thought. Why is everyone watching? But it was too late. Karma doesn't knock before entering. Maria's thoughts were steady. Every betrayal, every lie, every heartbreak meticulously paid back. She wasn't cruel, she was just exacting justice. By the time Oscar reached the bottom, the car park was filled with neighbors and curious onlookers. He scrambled for his clothes, covering himself as best he could, trying to escape the shame he had sown in others. And just like that, Maria had her moment. Poetic, public, unforgettable. Visual cue. Oscar stumbling outside, clutching his discarded clothes, crowd murmuring and laughing, Maria safely in the lift, triumphant expression. He never recovered his dignity. He never came back. And Maria? She walked away, heart lighter, knowing betrayal had been met with a fair and satisfying consequence. This story isn't about cruelty. It's about justice, about turning betrayal into empowerment. Sometimes, the sweetest revenge is not about hurting someone physically. It's about exposing their actions and holding them accountable, in a way that leaves no doubt who's in control. If you loved this story, hit like, share your own revenge stories in the comments, and subscribe for more real-life tales of justice served cold. Remember, betrayal has a price, and sometimes karma comes in silk negligées.